Hey y'all, and welcome to Peyton's Place. Here on Peyton's Place, I'm going to tell you about all things college, life as a young adult. We're going to talk about current social movements, and I'm also going to tell you how to be a successful activist. Before we get started, I want to remind everyone to like, comment, and hit that subscribe button. And while you hit subscribe, you might as well go ahead and just hit that little bell, turn on your post notifications as well so you never miss an episode. But y'all know where to catch me here every Wednesday at 11 a.m. On today's episode, I'm going to give you 11 tips as to why you should move out of your hometown in your 20s. So let's get started. Okay, so the first tip is, I wrote them all down because I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anything. And I just also wanted to just talk to y'all and keep it real, because those of you who don't know, I am 23. I moved out of my hometown of Milwaukee, Wisconsin at the age of 22. I've been here in Dallas, Texas for a year now, and it's been one of the best decisions I have ever made. And I tell people this all the time, like, moving out of Wisconsin was such a great decision for me. And I want to share why. I know people see posts all the time like, move out of your hometown for this reason, for that reason. I'm gonna just break it all down and tell y'all from personal experience as well. So the first thing I'm gonna say is it pushes you to be more responsible and independent. So when I went to college, I wasn't like in Milwaukee. My college was in Madison, Wisconsin, which is like 45 minutes away from where I'm from, my hometown. But I was still very close to my family, like just a drive away. I would take the bus. Shout out to everybody who be on the Badger bus. If you know, you know. But I was able to be like very dependent on my parents still. I'm very blessed to where my parents were able to provide for me and help support me as a student. But they were also very close to, like, if I needed to go home and I needed, you know, something from them, it was like very easy to depend on them. When I moved to Texas, I don't know how many miles my family is from me now, but it's a 15-hour drive. Granted, I've never made that drive, don't plan on it. But it's also like a good 3-hour plane ride. So it's like my family isn't just like down the street anymore. So because of that, I had to become super independent and responsible. Like, responsible as far as like bills and making decisions for myself, because my parents aren't here. They don't know like the different things that happen in Texas, or like, for example, renewing my plates. My parents have no idea about the Texas DMV. Like, before, I could just ask my mom like, oh, you know, which one should I go to, or like, how long does it take to get an appointment? But now I have to literally do everything myself, and it's allowed me to just really be more independent. And I just feel like an adult. Like, whenever I was back home or in Wisconsin in general, I just felt, I don't want to say childish, but like, moving, I just really feel like an adult. Like, I feel like I'm really a 23-year-old. Like, life hit, but it's in a good way. Like, I've had to be more responsible with my decision making, and also just, you know, be more independent in general. And it's been great. Like, it's great to pick up these skills early on in your life, because that's things you're gonna need for the rest of your life. The second thing I would say is it teaches you how to make friendships outside of like a organized situation like school. So when you're in school, you're in classes, you're in organizations, you pass people every day going to class, like you're living in the dorms, you're set up to make friendships, you have roommates, like a lot of different things. School sets you up to make those friendships because that's such an important part of your college experience. But when I moved to Texas, I didn't know anybody my age, y'all. Like, lonely, I'm Mr. Lonely. I knew my family, my aunt and uncle, who were like my parents' age, and I didn't have any like peers here to like really connect with, and I really had to put myself out there and make friends. And I'm still doing that now. Like, I'm a very reserved person until you really get to know me. Like, y'all know me from, you know, my channel, see me every day, and it seems like I'm real talkative. I'm very like, you know, the person who comes in a room is just like, you know, hey y'all, I'm here. But I'm really not. I'm pretty reserved, which has been a challenge for me. But moving out of Milwaukee has really taken me outside of my comfort zone of being able to just sit and like make friends through interactions that I've had every day. I work from home, so like I don't even have coworkers that I can connect with. But moving here to Dallas has really forced me to find different ways to make friends, to go places, to do this, to be around young adults like myself, so I can really make those friendships, or, you know, have associates or people I can hang out with. And that's something that I wouldn't have had to do if I stayed in Wisconsin, where all my friends are there from high school, a lot of people from college. But here in Dallas, I was by myself. But I do have friends now, y'all. I'm not lonely. But it forced me to put myself out there, which was great for me personally. The next thing I will say is you gain self-esteem and confidence. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I can do anything now that I done moved across the country on a whim. Like, you can't tell me nothing. Nah, but for real, I've had like so much confidence. Like, I'm just like, I'm really an adult. I really have an apartment. I'm really living in one of the cities that I wrote down on my list to be like, this is where I want to move when I graduate. So like, I have a self-confidence that I feel like I didn't have as much in Wisconsin because I was able to depend on my parents. I never had to be in a situation where I had to like put myself out completely out there where I just didn't know anyone. So like, self-confidence and self-esteem, I feel like I'm that girl. Like, I mean, I know we not really messing with Sha'Carri right now, but you know what she said, that's how I was feeling. Like, that confidence is what I had, because I'm just like, I literally up and moved across the country at the age of 22 and started living the life that I've prayed for and manifested. Like, I've had so much self-confidence from moving, which has also been amazing, and I wouldn't have had that if I stayed in Wisconsin. Next, you get a fresh start in a new city. Like, anyone who's going to college, who's watching this, y'all know how it is when you're in high school. You got your high school persona, or what people think of you in high school, and then you get to college, and like, I mean, unless you go to college with a lot of the people you went to high school with, but you get to college and it's like, people don't know you. You can like reinvent yourself, or like rebrand, recreate yourself of who you want to be. And it's the same ideal like situation when you move across the country, or not across the country, but to a new city in general. So I moved here and like, nobody knows Peyton from high school, nobody knows Peyton from college. Like, they just know me, the Peyton that they're getting now. And I'm such a different person than I was back in high school, college, middle school. Like, just in Milwaukee in general, I feel like such a different person here in Dallas now. And not that like I needed to like start over, because like the person I was in high school and college was just such a crazy person. That wasn't the case at all for me personally, but it was just a fresh start. Like, people have no idea who I am but the person that I present to them. Like, and I'm real, so like, you know, they gonna get me regardless. But you really just get a fresh start. You could start new, and that's always very refreshing, to be able to just like start over and like start fresh. The fifth thing I would say is you're forced to step out of your comfort zone. I know I kind of mentioned that before, but like, it's a lot of things that living in a city where my immediate family and like all my close friends don't live has made me step outside of my comfort zone. Like, happen to find places where I can find friends, figuring out where the black people are. Like, that's something that I had to like go search for and look for. And then when I got to events, I had to really be like, hey, you know, what's your name? I'm Peyton, I'm from Milwaukee, live here, do this. Like, really make friendships at the age of 22. Like, that's something that made me step outside of my comfort zone, because y'all, I will sit in the house all day and chill and watch Netflix, and I I'll be fine with that. But I got to the point where I was like, you know what, I really miss those bonds and connections that I had with people when I had those friendships back from college. So I stepped outside of my comfort zone and I started going to, like, you know, young black professional events and like meeting up with people, going out to lounges and different like events like that, karaoke, like just doing fun things. And that's something that I never really had to do in college, because like everything was like set up for you, like it's this event, it's that event, like it's all there for you. But I had to step outside of my comfort zone to find people, and then once I got to events, to actually like talk to people. And if I was still in my hometown, I know everybody. Like, I don't have to step outside of my comfort zone to go make friends, because all my friends are here. So that's something that was also very beneficial from me moving. The next thing I would say is you can focus on yourself with less distractions. So when I was living in Wisconsin, like, of course I always prioritize, you know, yourself first, mentally, physically, spiritually, all of that. But it's very easy to kind of like put yourself on the back burner when you're surrounded by like all the people you love and care about, and you're taking on all of their problems that they might be going through, and you're being there for everyone, and you are pulled in so many different directions, and you're involved in all kind of different things because, you know, you always know what's going on in the city. But once you like move out of your hometown and you're really like alone, you're kind of forced to like be by yourself. You know, like when you're in a relationship and then you're not in a relationship anymore, you're single, and you actually have to learn yourself. That's what you have to do when you move across the country. And it's such a great feeling, y'all. Like being able to learn who I was as an independent adult for the first time has been such a great experience and like journey that I've been on. Like I've learned so much about myself and how to love myself, and what I like, what I enjoy doing. And like, I mean, when I was back in Wisconsin, of course I did things that I love doing, but I also did things because I want to hang out with my friends, or like, you know, things like that. But now I realize I might not really like doing some of this stuff. I might just really enjoyed the connection and the time I spent with those people that I love. But now that I live on my own and I'm on my own a lot, I really realize what I like to do, and I'm learning myself more, which I love. So that's something as well. The next thing I will say is you truly appreciate your friends and family so much more. Like now that I can't just call my mom, and not call her, but like now that I can't just like go downstairs or go out of my room and see my mom and my dad and my dog and my little brother on the couch, like watching the Bucks game together, it's hard, y'all. I had to watch the championship by myself, but I just really appreciate them so much. I appreciate how much they have supported me, how much they've shown me like different things that I should be doing with my life, the guidance, and just how they're always there for me. And I really appreciate that more now that I don't have it so readily available to me. Also, like with my sisters, my sorority sisters, shout out to my line sisters. But I also just realized how much of a close bond and like friendship and sisterhood that I have with them, because them not being here with me and me not being able to say, hey y'all, let's meet here, let's go do this, let's do that. I'm just like, wow, I really do appreciate the love and support I get from them as well, in that sisterhood. So like separating myself from those that I truly love and care about, and kind of removing myself and being by myself now, has really shown me how much I truly appreciate those genuine friendships and my family, when I was so used to just like always having them there for me. So that's a great thing to see as well. The next thing I will say is you become better at managing your money. Now let me tell y'all, I was blessed to where I didn't have any bills until I moved to Dallas. My parents, you know, took care of me. They were in a great situation where they were able to provide for me until I moved out of their home, or moved, you know, left college. But now I be having bills on bills on bills, and I had to learn how to manage my money, because it's great having a great job, but you could be making so much money and not know how to like live with it, like, you know, and be financially smart. Like, I've learned how to think financially about like myself and my finances, if that makes sense. But like, I have a budget, I stick to my budget. I have, like, you know, my bills, I like my credit cards, savings, because you never know as an adult, when you depend on yourself, you don't know what's gonna happen. Like, you know, knock on wood, but like, stuff happens all the time. Like, people here in Texas, they can't drive, and it's car accidents all the time. Like, thank God I haven't had to deal with anything like that, but like, having to fix your car is expensive. Like, all kind of stuff could happen. Like, when it was the winter where it was crazy freezing cold, luckily, like, I didn't have any problems, but like, people had to like refurnish their apartments, or they had to figure all these things out because stuff flooded, and you need like savings and a budget to be able to be good in those situations that life just throws at you. And being dependent on yourself and living in a new city where you can't just like, I couldn't just call my mom and be like, hey, like, can I come home, or I need to stay with y'all for a little bit so I can stack up my money. Like, no, you pay rent every month. So I really became more financially intelligent through having to live by myself and not be dependent on my parents, or really anyone in general. You know, I'm out here by myself. So it's been great though. I feel very like I'm in a good place financially because of that. And I feel like I'm learning things that I'm gonna take with me for the rest of my life, like things that I really could use forever. So that's been a great thing as well. Something else is you can expand your personal and professional networks. Y'all hear me talk about networking all the time because it's so important. So once you leave, so say like I was here in Wisconsin, that's this circle. These are all my network of people, my friends, my family, the people I've met in college, that's all right here. But now I'm here in Texas, and I have a whole new group of people that I can network with. Friend wise, I have new friends, I have new people I hang out with. Professional wise, I've been able to meet all kind of different people within my field, outside of my field, and just like black professionals, other black professionals as well, who are doing great. Being able to find new mentors who are here in Texas. Like, it's just, you can expand your network, and you never know where you're gonna go. Like, I might be 5 years from now in a different city, and somebody that I met here in Dallas, maybe, you know, the head of some company that I want to apply to. And because I moved from Wisconsin and my network that's very strong there, and now I'm creating a strong network here, once I move again, if I move again, you know, I will have those two networks. So now I'm like twice as strong with the people who know me and the people I know. Also, friend wise too, like, it's great to have people that you can connect with in different cities. Like, if I was to ever move, I know if I come visit Dallas, I'm gonna have people who gonna take care of me because we built up those friendships. So that's been great as well, and that's good for you professionally and personally, building those networks. Also, you learn to trust yourself to become a better decision maker. So when you have to make decisions that are like gonna change, you know, your life and the events around you, you have to really like trust yourself to make those decisions. Before, I would be able to just like call my mom or dad and just be like, hey, like, you know, this is what I'm in, what would you suggest? And I can still do that now, but I've gotten to the point where like I trust myself, and like, because I've experienced so much and I've done so much as an adult living on my own, I'm able to be like, you know what, I should do this, and I don't need to call my mom or dad. I mean, granted, I know they love talking to me because I love talking to them as well, but I'm able to make some of these decisions by myself now, like the big girl decisions. I do it all by myself, y'all. Like, and I don't think I would have been like that if I would have still been living in Milwaukee or Wisconsin in general. And lastly, you can make more money. Like, who don't want more money? If you're like limiting yourself to only staying in the city that you're from, or you know, the state that you're from, then you're limiting yourself to so many other opportunities. Like, there's so many different places you can live in the world. Like, but you know, just thinking of the US in general, like there are so many different places you can live. And if you're only applying to like jobs within your hometown, you're just limiting yourself. But if you're open to moving and going wherever a job takes you, you have so many more opportunities with that. So I would say with that, more opportunities, 9 times out of 10 comes more money. And who don't like money? Like, you can move to a different environment and make more money. So I would consider it. I truly say that moving out of my hometown in my 20s was one of the best decisions I have ever made. I've grown so much and I've been able to learn so much, not just about myself, but about life in general, just from moving. So I would definitely recommend it. And not to say you gotta move like right when you graduate, but I feel like moving before 25 is a good decision, because you will learn so much and you'll be able to like grow and really set yourself apart from a lot of other people. When you go home, you'll be like, wow, like you just feel like you're ahead of where you would have been if you stayed there. So I would suggest it. If y'all have any questions about my move or my journey, y'all can feel free to leave them in the comments. And I want to thank everyone who's been tuning in to Peyton's Place every Wednesday at 11 a.m. If you have not already, please hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, y'all. We getting there slowly but surely, but I believe in us. We're gonna get there. Also turn on your post notifications, you know, hit that little bell, and be sure to tune in to Peyton's Place every Wednesday at 11 a.m. I'll see y'all next week. Bye.